Supergirl is the second film in James Gunn's new DCU that will be followed by Clayface later this year. You might remember we made a video about this new DCU, talking about its universe being set in stone, and it looks like we're going full speed ahead. Unless they get bought out by another corporation and everything gets cancelled or James Gunn leaves. While James Gunn is behind this movie, it's directed by Craig Gillespie. And so, if you're worried about this being another Guardians movie, it's not. While there are funny moments in the movie, Kara is not the one bringing the jokes. She's trying to save her dog by getting an antidote. This is a story of a girl trying to save her last connection to her home that was destroyed. The girl she is traveling with, Ruthie, lost her mom, dad, and brother in a single day. This is a tragic story, but I don't think we delve deep enough, or rather, spend enough time with the characters to really understand what they have been through. When we started to get Kara's backstory, it didn't feel earned. Even though it was shown to us, it felt like an exposition dump. I don't mean the flashback where Kara gets Krypto. I think that was well placed. I mean, the flashback where she explains what happened to Krypton to this girl she just met felt weird. Now I understand, we're under a time constraint, we are trying to find the antidote, but this revelation of what happens to our planet didn't feel earned. I think I needed more time with the characters so that when I see the flashback, I fully understand why Kara is behaving this way. Making the movie longer would have helped, but I don't think that's the problem. To understand what I mean, let's look at another movie that has to do with someone's dog.
Nobody? But nobody. John Wick.
In this movie, John loses his dog when Russian mobsters break into his house. We have no idea who John Wick is until the mechanic, Aurelio, slaps Viggo's son. That is our first clue that something is off. Then, when Viggo asks Aurelio why he slapped his son, he said, "Oh." Then he proceeded to try to negotiate with John, immediately making us think that this guy must be dangerous. And that's when we hear John's backstory, because now we already have it in our mind on 3 occasions that something's not right. It's not just about the dog. It's about what the dog represents. His last connection to his wife. This backstory didn't feel like exposition to the audience. It felt like a dire warning to the characters in the movie that they just crossed the Baba Yaga. In the first 30 minutes of an hour and 40-minute movie, I understand. My name is John Wick. You killed my dog. Prepare to die. And Supergirl, a movie that is around the same runtime, it doesn't connect Krypto to Krypton. Well, they do, but not in a way that matters. And that's why Krypton's flashback was misplaced. We see Krypton's downfall twice. I see that it causes Kara pain, but the dog is treated like it's another pet when it's not. It's her last connection to Krypton, her family. This flashback didn't need to be later in the movie or revealed slowly throughout. I just wanted to see a strong connection so that I can be fully invested and on the journey with Kara, because I really want it to be. As far as Ruthie, her backstory was good. She has a clear goal, which you hear like 10 times and has Supergirl rolling her eyes. I think her character overall was good. I just wish we could have seen her fight more at the end of the movie. She went this whole time trying to go after her family's killers, but the entire movie, she needed to be saved, which is why Kara told her to stay back. And for one of the scenes, it looks like Gunn took some notes from Snyder.
Start the punch at regular speed and then you're gonna ramp it down.
It's not a f***ing secret!
Now, on to Lobo. I gotta be honest, this character just isn't necessary. He shows up, beats some people, then leaves. Then shows up again, beats people up, then leaves. I wish he had actually worked alongside Kara and Ruthie, or even given a different perspective on why he kills people. They did that a little, but not enough for it to matter or to have an impact. This character is a bounty hunter with a god complex. That introduction felt weird to me.
Stop talking like that. However,
while this character isn't necessary, he's by far the best part of the movie. His look, his attitude, how he interacts with Kara and Ruthie is great. Jason Momoa was definitely made for this role, and I wish we got more of him, and I want to see him in the DCU moving forward. Even giving him a Lobo movie where he collects bounties, and along the way he runs into the Lantern Corps or whatever other organization in the cosmos. A movie would allow for more world building. I feel like this character should be fighting the Predator. in the 1980s. This movie has a late 80s, 90s feel to it. It's not just the music. Superman doesn't feel like this, nor do the Guardian movies. It's the flashy colors, the stylized look of the entire movie. This makes the movie feel unique. That's one of the things that James Gunn said about the new DCU. While there is an overarching story, every movie will have the director's distinct vision, which I like. This makes me think that Clayface won't just be a superpowered movie with a horror banner. It will be an actual horror thriller that happens to have superpowers in it. While I did like the stylization of this movie, it also doesn't feel real. Yes, I know, a space alien who gets powers from a yellow sun flying through space with her dog, and I'm complaining about realism. But what I mean is, they felt like action figures, not real people, just actors playing characters to sell a toy. Quick, Supergirl's dog was just poisoned.
Hey! Build the shuttle.
Travel to the galaxy and save Crypto before time runs out. This isn't to say the performances were bad. Millie Alcock was good as Kara. Nothing to write home about, but I don't think that's her fault. I think it's the writing not going deep enough with the character. And when that's combined with the 80s feel, you get an action toy commercial. And that goes for the villain as well. I think Krim was a good villain for this movie. He does what he needs to do. I wish we could have known how Krim knew Kara was a Kryptonian, how he knew to go to a planet with a green sun, but overall, this movie wasn't about the villain. It was about Kara's connection to Crypto and Krypton. But since that aspect wasn't handled right, it hinders the fear I have for the villain. Now, the villain isn't the one who's taking away Kara's entire world. He's just another villain, which is still dangerous, but lessens the emotional impact. And this lack of connection affects Superman's connection to the movie. But before we get to Clark and Kara, let's talk about their parents. Clark and Kara are cousins, but their parents seem to have very different philosophies. In Superman, Clark's parents want Kal-El to rule over and conquer the Earth, while Kara's parents wanted her to be more of a protector of worlds. I think that's interesting. This makes me want to learn more about Krypton and why Kara and Clark's parents hold different beliefs when it comes to other planets. Also, this makes me wonder if Kryptonians getting powers from a sun is common knowledge, because Clark's Kryptonian parents knew he would be powerful when he came to Earth, and Krim knew about the Kryptonian weakness to a green sun. But did Kara or her parents know about this? Ruthie seemed to wonder how she got her powers, and when Kara said she's Kryptonian, it seemed to explain it. So I'm assuming Kryptonian power boosts are common knowledge for certain people in the galaxy. Unless Krim has dealt with Kryptonians from a yellow sun in the past, and that's why he knows their weakness. This is something that could be expanded on if we ever get a Krypton show, or more backstory in Man of Tomorrow, or even Lanterns, if they ever go to space and meet the entire Lantern Corps. Maybe certain Lanterns have dealt with them, but this seems unlikely because in Superman, Guy Garner doesn't seem to know anything about Kryptonians conquering planets, unless he just isn't mentioning it, since Clark isn't conquering Earth, and he has never caused any problems, which is why he didn't jump to believing Lex's translation right away. Clark never gave them a reason to doubt. I mean, he saved a squirrel. Superman is something everyone strives to be. He looks out for everyone and everything, big and small. He'll be there. Him flying out of that rubble in the movie didn't make him a godlike being. It made him a symbol that gave the audience chills and say, yeah, that's Superman. That logo is a symbol of hope, and in this movie, I don't think Kara lives up to it. Now, of course, she doesn't have to be like Clark, but in this movie, they gave her the suit to wear, and honestly, to me, it fell flat. We already have an idea of what that suit means, so when someone else puts it on, we expect certain things. That's why audiences accept Miles as Spider-Man, and this song from Across the Spider-Verse captures it perfectly. I'm right here, at your door, I won't leave, I want more. By this point, Miles not only is wearing the suit, but he is embodying everything Spider-Man stands for, everything Peter started. On the other hand, look at Falcon. He's wearing Captain America's suit, but he doesn't feel like Captain America. He's not embodying what the symbol means. While I think Falcon was the right choice for the mantle, I don't think the story justified it. I don't believe he would jump on a bomb to save his friends, but that's because they wrote a sequel to the Hulk movie instead of a Captain America movie. Now you end up with Falcon in Cap's colors with a shield. Now, with Supergirl, her parents say, go to other planets and be their protector. But because we don't go on this journey with her, when she decides to wear the suit, I don't say, yeah, she's Supergirl. I say, oh, she's wearing the thing. Because this movie doesn't care if she saves the day. Even at the end, when she sets the girls free, it's a cool scene, but she's trying to get to Krim. She's not even trying to kill him. She just wants the antidote.
Can we have the antidote?
When she's protecting Ruthie, that's great, but she's been doing that the entire movie. She helped get her sword back because she had time to kill. Sure, she didn't want Ruthie to become a murderer, but I need more than that. I need to feel like she understands the symbol, and all this goes back to the movie lacking an emotional anchor. Even Kara's line, "Clark sees the good in people, and I see the truth," wasn't explored as much as it needed to. What does Kara see that Clark doesn't? How does that affect Kara's decision? How will seeing the good versus seeing the truth shape how they handle new threats in Man of Tomorrow? Kara is different than Clark. Clark wouldn't have killed Krim, or at least not the way Kara did. Kara kills Krim not for herself, but for Ruthie, which is great. But it's not hitting the way they want it to because Kara went the entire movie telling Ruthie that killing will change her. What makes her say this? Has she experienced this in the past? Does this come from Clark, from her parents? I assume this comes from her seeing the truth, or maybe perspective. Ruthie is getting revenge while Kara is avenging?
Who knows?
But the problem isn't that Kara doesn't act like Clark. My problem is that they have her wearing the symbol of hope when no one sees her that way. At least, not yet. This movie laid a solid foundation for her to grow into an actual superhero anti-hero. With Supergirl being the second film, I think she will play a big role in the future of the DCU. I wonder if there will be any changes now that 2 Kryptonians are on Earth. How will people like Flag Sr. and Lex Luthor respond to it? And will Peacemaker play into it as well? I hope we get these answers in Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Overall, Supergirl isn't the movie of the year, but I would recommend seeing the movie, if for nothing else to support this new era of the DCU, and I think Peter Safran put it best. While Supergirl didn't meet our box office expectations, it's just one component of a broader, long-term strategy at DC Studios that we remain confident in. And that's something we've been waiting to hear from DC for a long time. Now I ask you, what did you think of the movie? What did you think of my critiques? Leave all your thoughts down below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Let's go, yes.